Okay everybody, Science Viking here. I'm back and ready to start the next video. First I'm going to talk to Solera a bit more.
You really are fond of chatting with me, aren't you? If I didn't know better, I'd think you had feelings for me. Oh no, dear me, pretend you didn't hear that.
And that's all he has to say. First I'm going to switch back to my Hollow Soldier shield. Yeah, I haven't upgraded any of them, since I want to be able to block 100% of physical. Now let's explore this area. This is actually a relatively small area, but there are a lot of enemies. Pretty much all of them are these Silver Knights. That's a problem. Yep, first enemy and I'm already having problems. Including forgetting that I had combustion set. Well, that's that guy taken care of. Fortunately, the Silver Knights give a lot of souls. And some nice weapons. Okay, let's go through here. Let's start by actually, before we climb these stairs, if we go here, let's check this door. And yep, this door does not open from this side. So before we do anything else, we turn left and go down here. It appears that there's nothing in this room, but this fireplace looks a little suspicious, because it's a fake wall. And it leads us down here. It's a bit dark in here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that message is a lie, actually. One thing there is down here is a couple of treasure chests. One of them is a mimic. That one is this one. If you look closely, you can see that its chain is in a different position than all the others. So, switch to a slightly stronger fire spell, and deal with the mimic. Well, I guess you can touch this. But you're dead now. And it drops the Occult Club, which I suppose we could use on Ornstien if we were so inclined, but I'm not. Now let's open the other chests. None of the others are mimics. Only one of them is. Dragon Tooth. That is a weapon that is upgraded with dragon scales, and also, it's basically indestructible. And Havel's Great Shield. And Havel's Helm and Armor. And Havel's Gauntlets and Leggings. This is basically Havel's entire armor set. I actually have a character who's wearing that armor set. It's not bad. It's extremely heavy, but it has huge durability and grants huge resistance to all kinds of damage. And that's all that there is down here. But still some useful stuff. What's more, if you want the achievement for upgrading an occult weapon to maximum level, it's easiest to get if you just upgrade that occult club. Alright. That's everything we can do for here. Here for now. The next step is to climb these stairs. It's a wonderful spiral staircase. I gotta admit, the inside of this place does look cool. And let's look around. Nothing over here, other than overlooking an area we'll get to later. And, of course, a huge number of severed dragon heads. Let's check the other side. This guy will be challenging, but I can get the first attack. And a Silver Knight spear. If I were a spear wielder, that might be nice. Now let's see what this loot is over here. Another Soul of a Hero. Excellent. I'm going to hold on to those until I'm back to a place where I can upgrade my Pyromancy Catalyst. And another chest. This one is also a Mimic. There are quite a few of them in here. Every Mimic has a chance of dropping a special item called the Symbol of Avarice. The Symbol of Avarice both increases your item drop rate as much as the Covetous Gold Serpent Ring does, and increases your... and causes you to gain 20% more souls. Looks like you can't fit through the doorway, though you can attack through it. So I guess I only do one attack at a time. Okay. And he's gone. The way it works is every Mimic is guaranteed to drop one item that's specific to that individual Mimic. In addition to that item, they have a chance of dropping the Symbol of Avarice. Also, to make sure that you get the Symbol of Avarice before the end of the playthrough, a Mimic is... the last Mimic that you kill, like the last Mimic in the game, is guaranteed to drop the Symbol of Avarice if you don't already have it. And we have another Mimic. Quite a few of them in here. That was weird. It just doesn't teleport. See what this one gave me. Silver coins. The only effect of the gold and silver coins is that you can feed them to Frampt in exchange for souls. Alright, let's see what's in here. And the answer is, yep, this is the... is this the room I think it is? Oh, it's not. There's a room with a Titanite demon in it. But this isn't that. Amazing chest ahead, though. Sorry, that was bad. Somebody is firing Dragonslayer arrows. I know that sound. I'd know that sound anywhere. Wish somebody would remind me about that ambush. Let's keep looking around. I'm accumulating souls pretty fast. Unfortunately, I'm running a bit low on Estus Flask uses. I may wind up having to use a Humanity as a healing item before this is over. Up here we have two of them. Should probably heal. Each one is blocking an exit. It appears that the ones that have bows also give me more souls. That's always nice. Let's go down this spiral staircase. This is the spiral staircase that was kind of offset from the staircase we were on before, so this takes us to an entirely different place. And this actually leads to the exit. So, first, in here is a Titanite demon. I'm not even going to bother fighting it. What I am going to do is go down here, though. Ow. This room looks a bit familiar, you know, with all the dragon heads. I'm also rather close to a bonfire, so I can afford to do this. It would be nice if I was actually hitting something with it. I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm back to where I was. Let's see if I can not die horribly this time. Alright. I'd say it's a safe bet that I've hit these chests enough to confirm that they're not mimics. Let's quick loot them. Silver Knight helmet and armor. Probably not a bad armor set, but I seriously doubt that it would be medium armor on this character. The next thing we want to do is open this door. This is the door that didn't open from this side last time. So now we have a shortcut back here from the bonfire. One more. Okay, we're ready to head towards the boss fog. We're not actually going to take on the boss yet. First we need to... Yeah, I died in an earlier take. First we need to go and open a few more shortcuts and meet the last... Actually, not the last blacksmith, but meet another blacksmith. No, the last one's actually going to be in the crypt. But first we need to make it past these Silver Knights. They've killed me a few times. Alright. Get this guy's attention. Unfortunately, I believe he can stab you through the wall. In fact, you know what? Let's use a different strategy. And that different strategy is using fire orbs. Fire orbs do just enough damage to actually stagger them when I hit them. So that I can hit them with a follow-up attack. Like that. Okay, that's going a little better. Yeah, the spear guys are by far the worst to deal with because their reach is actually longer than my range with my fireballs. And so they do at least have to lower their shield to attack. Alright, we're not going to bother with the Titanite Demon, so instead we're going to turn right and head up this rather long flight of stairs into this very large open room. There's quite a bit to do here. And we also encounter the improved version of the giant guards we were fighting before. They still have the shields that block 100% of everything, but they now have higher stats, and they even know some miracles. Also, the Black Eye Orb is quivering, which means we can invade the world of the person who murdered the Firekeeper. I'm not going to do that yet, though. First, I'm going to get in here, next to this door, and push this lever. And now I'm going to try and escape the giant, who's now going to try to kill me. Most importantly, even if I die, this door is open now. I'm just going to sprint past here out towards Anor Londo. And I died, but the door is open. That was still progress. I'm calling that one a success. I died, but I'm still calling that one a success because now the door is open. Alright. After we've gotten that door open, the next step is we want to be on the other side here. But going across the bottom of the room is pretty dangerous because of those giant guards who, as I've said before, are really just not worth fighting. They do have a chance of dropping Titanite chunks, so if you want to farm Titanite chunks, you can farm Titanite chunks off of them. That is the larger, improved version in here have a chance of dropping Titanite chunks. There is something useful down here, but we don't want to go down there just yet. The regular version does not drop Titanite chunks. However, there are other enemies later on, particularly the Dark Wraiths in the lower part of the New Londo ruins, who drop Titanite chunks much more often, and in my opinion are also easier to kill. Oh, right, you get to attack. This is one of the things about Dark Souls that does genuinely make me feel like it's kind of cheating. Which is, enemies can attack through walls in ways that I can't. summon a phantom. Speaking of which, this is where the summon sign will appear. Saint? Yeah, that's where the summon sign will appear if you're human for an NPC summon. And in this boss fight, the NPC summon is Solaire. Again. So, yeah, it's one of the reasons why people like him so much, is he's summonable for the boss fight with Ornstein and Smough. But the last thing to do is when you're on top of the... When you're at the top of the raised part of this room, on the opposite side from the side you entered from, you can go through this doorway. We're gonna head down. As usual for Dark Souls, there's quite a bit of down. Now we can talk to this guy. Another blacksmith. What's more, he can do lightning weapons, and he can do boss weapons. At the moment, the only thing that I can use as a base is my catalyst to make one of a couple of different catalysts, which I don't have souls for. He can also do the normal stuff, and let's see what he has for sale. Titanite shards, large Titanite shards, green Titanite shards, and twinkling Titanite, which I use to upgrade my gargoyle helm, as well as a giant's halberd and giant's shield. Several different kinds of arrows, including moonlight arrows, which deal magic damage only. Dragonslayer arrows, which are the arrows that the Silver Knights were firing at us. And the usual stuff. And he has some decent armor if you're a heavy armor type. Though really, if you're a heavy armor type of character, I recommend just going with Havel's set. Alright. I'm probably going to have him make me both Quaelag's Fury Sword and the Crystal Ring Shield. To get Quaelag's Fury Sword, I need a +10 Scimitar. I have a Scimitar. I just need to upgrade to +10 with the help from Andre. And to get the Crystal Ring Shield, I just need a +10 of any kind of shield. Actually, after I'm done killing these gargoyles, I'm going to go buy some arrows. I'm a little low on them. I'm going to be using my bow almost exclusively during the boss fight. Exploiting the fact that they apparently can't fly, despite the fact that I've seen them fly. And a Titanite chunk. Those were always nice. Now, over here, we should be able to open this door from this side. And we just have to be very careful about the giant guard, whose attention we kind of already have. Once again, just run. They're slow and they don't follow you very far. And I am going to head back to the bonfire with the Firekeeper. I want to rest at that bonfire so that I can get 10 uses of my Estus Flask instead of 5, and then I'll meet you back here. Back in a second. Okay. I have rested at the bonfire, I am at full strength, and I have decided that it's time to avenge a Firekeeper. The first step is to equip the Black Eye Orb. I'm replacing my poison moss because nothing causes poison here. Must have passed it at least once. Now first, walk up to the steps as usual. We need to get past the giant guards. Right now the Black Eye Orb is grayed out, and when I hit E, nothing happens. And yeah, Dark Souls has this lovely "what do you want from me" gesture when you try to make a character do something that they can't actually do. Alright, at the top of the stairs, sprint, and we're just going to go straight instead of turning this time. If you take damage, heal before you use the Black Eye Orb. You will not be able to use your Estus Flask while you are inside the other guy's world. Careful, those giants are going to come after me as soon as I come out of the other guy's world. And he has two white phantoms backing me up. And this is the same guy we freed from a cell in the Undead Parish. Let's go after the one Cleric Rogues. He's probably more fragile and probably has miracles. This is easiest if you start off from a distance because you start off outnumbered. So I'm going to have to fight on the move. Fortunately, I have pretty good stats and a pretty good bow. Yep, my Estus Flask is blocked, my Humanities are not, so I can use them if I absolutely need to heal. Oh, he's a sorcerer. I'm not entirely sure what that sorcery is. My guess is it's fall control, which makes sense to keep you from just tricking them into taking fall damage. Alright, I'm going to retreat up here, lead them to get them to follow me. Yes, I'm leading them to get them to follow me. He took damage from one of his allies, it seems. I believe those weapons are show tenants. I actually had used those briefly with one of my other characters. Right. And we're up here. Yeah, this is what it looks like to be in someone else's world. Ow! The being hit by Soul Arrow is not part of what it's normally like to be in someone else's world. I've never had that happen before. Okay. So what happens if you fail attempting to invade someone else's world and die is that you just are returned to your world perfectly fine, and I've never died during that invasion event before. Alright, let's try this again. Ah, crap. Okay, let's try this again. Once again, I am going to use fire. Also, yeah, they appear to all be under the effect of the fall control sorcery constantly, probably to prevent you from outsmarting their AI and tricking them into just falling into an abyss. Or, well, falling off one of the ledges. Which is nearly down. And that's all I need to do, it seems. That's another thing to remember, since these are white phantoms, killing the host removes my need to fight them. Unfortunately. I'm in a bit of danger. I got some humanity from that, though. Oh. And it's dropped me without the enemies being aggressive against me at all. Perfect. I also received... all of my pyromancies were refunded because I finished a successful invasion. In case you're wondering why I sound surprised by so much of this stuff, I don't invade very often. I much prefer co-op. That's just the way I am. I prefer helping other players to murdering them, but that guy was a jerk. Now, there is an important thing to remember after you have completed this invasion. Now, you can use that Firekeeper Soul, just like any other Firekeeper Soul, to upgrade your Estus Flask. But, if you do so, you give up the opportunity to resurrect the Firelink Shrine Firekeeper, and the Firelink Shrine bonfire will be gone forever. So, I wouldn't recommend doing it. In my opinion, the Firelink Shrine bonfire is more useful than the upgrade to your Estus Flask, but it's your choice. But the important thing is, the game will let you upgrade your Estus Flask for as long as you have that Firekeeper Soul in your possession. So, it's an easy thing to do by accident. Be very careful. Alright, now that we've done that, it's time to... there's one last thing to do before I take on the boss. And that is, go through this broken stained glass window. Just drop down. You're going to want to go to the right. Carefully, because this is probably enough of a fall to at least hurt quite a bit if we fall too far all at once. At the bottom, it seems like it would make sense to go left, but we actually want to go right. Make sure that you have a homeward bone and are at full health before you do this. If you do not have a homeward bone, go get one and then come back. If you are not at full health, heal. After you're in those conditions, drop down here. Carefully. And miss the jump completely. Alright. And we fall into here. Now, pillars the corpse, Dragonslayer Great Bow, and Dragonslayer Arrows. Or, well, a Dragonslayer Arrow. Let's check out the Dragonslayer Great Bow. Alright. I know it's in here somewhere. Delete. Requires 20 strength and scales equally with strength and dexterity. Pretty good damage, but it's not really suited to this character. This might be good for a character who also uses primarily swords, and uses primarily swords and uses other things that scale with both strength and dexterity equally. Alright, now I'm going to use a homeward bone because I believe that's actually the only way to get out of here. Though, if you get trapped here, and there's no way to kill yourself, there's no way to commit suicide, and if you don't have a homeward bone, one thing that you can do is you can actually use your dark sign like an item. It will cause you to just die and immediately return to the last bonfire, but you will leave your souls and humanity behind. I don't want to leave my soul and humanity behind, so I'll use a homeward bone. And now it's showing me more about the dark side. Alright, that's the end of the preparations for this boss fight, aside from resting at the bonfire. Leveling up because I don't want to go into this wisdom rolls. I'm going to put another point into dexterity. I want more bow damage. And I'm going to reverse my hollowing, because I am going to be summoning Solaire for this. Of course, to reverse my hollowing, it's best to actually have some humanity. There will be outtakes for this boss fight. I wonder if there will be as many outtakes for this boss fight as there were for getting past the snipers last time. But, offer humanity and reverse hollowing. Humanity restored. And now I'm going to get us a fresh new recording file for the actual boss fight, along with getting us back to the crest of the top of the stairs, again, to show you where to summon Solaire and then how to take on the boss. Back in a moment. Alright. We're ready to take on Ornstein and Smough, though it'll take a bit more preparation than it usually does. First, we need to get past these giant guards, so just sprint, and jump, and sprint some more. There's a reason why I like the grass crest shield for this area, because there's no point in trying to block anyway. Alright, now we actually need to kill the 2 giant guards and the sniper inside of this room before we summon Solaire. So to deal with that, run up the stairs on the right. And just keep running. Just keep going. Pretty quickly they'll forget about you and stop following you. Keep going up here. Make sure that they're not following you anymore. And they'll return to their positions. And then we head back down. Because what matters... Well, I really don't know what that guy's doing, other than walking on sunshine again. Well, let's see what happens when I shoot him. He falls down. I've never seen them do this before. This is odd. He even took a little bit of falling damage. Okay, now he's returning to his position. Alright. Once they return... The point is basically just to get ourselves up here with the knights back where they started. Or the giants back where they started. Now, we want to just repeatedly shoot this knight in the balls until he runs out of health. Don't really need to pay attention. We will never provoke him to attack us. Just stand here and unload until his partner decides to come up and attack us anyway. Well, to deal with his partner, the knights can't... Sort of like the issue with the other guy, with the gargoyles in the other area, the knights can't actually fit up here. So every time that knight decides to come after us, just retreat back past this railing, and then shoot him with a couple of arrows. In the meantime, keep unloading on this one. The knights will periodically disengage with us to try and perform the Great Heal miracle. There's probably a limit to the number of times that they can do that, but in the interest of conserving arrows, I prefer not to. I prefer to actually interrupt them while they do it. Sort of like healing with an Estus Flask. While they're performing the miracle, they're vulnerable, and I can just charge in and hit them with Great Combustion. There's a reason why it's my active spell. Normally, unloading on this guy will not actually provoke it. Like so. Just keep unloading on him, keep shooting him in the balls. Eventually he'll run out of health and then we move on to the other one. It's a bit monotonous, but it's the safest way to deal with these guys, and we need to conserve resources for the actual boss fight. And he's down. This guy's a bit harder to deal with because it's difficult not to provoke him by sniping him. See, now we've got his attention. The thing is, their AI doesn't deal well with if you're standing on a raised platform. And yeah, it seems that they're not allowed to follow me up there. Once he drops off there, you want to follow him to keep your camera on him so that you can tell if he tries to use Great Heal. Because if he tries to use Great Heal, you want to interrupt it. But see, he tries to swing through the stairs and can't actually damage me. And now I try to shoot through the stairs and can't actually damage him. And then I dodge roll off of the stairs and end up getting myself into some danger. Okay, break the lock on, sprint back up the stairs. Unfortunately, we have the attention of the sniper. I'll deal with him later. It will be difficult for him to hit me. It's possible that they only have the Great Heal Excerpt miracle, which is like Great Heal, but only gives one use. wonder how reliable this railing is going to be. It's been doing a pretty good job of stopping me from being hit so far. That's not ideal. That's less ideal. And he's dead. Yay, great combustion. I even still have most of my uses of it. Let's see what he dropped. Titanite chunk. Yeah, these guys have a chance of dropping Titanite chunks, but it's so much work to kill them that it really isn't worth doing. Alright, I don't have any regular fireballs attuned, because, frankly, it's not worth the effort. I'm going to need all of my stronger pyromancies to deal with the boss, so I went with just regular fire. I'm going to use Fire Orb to deal with this sniper. Now, just a moment before I do that, I'm going to run down here, swing by the giant blacksmith, and use the souls I just got to repair my bow. I haven't repaired my equipment in a while, so just a quick sprint should do it. Just get some quick equipment healing. Fortunately, I have a whole bunch of extra souls. And since this guy isn't a bonfire, it won't cause the enemies to respawn. Repair equipment. It isn't even expensive. May as well just go repair everything. Since it isn't expensive, it doesn't take long, but I wish there was a repair all button. Alright, that's everything. Don't worry, I'll cometh back later to get some boss weapons. Sprint back up here. Yeah, that cost barely anything. Of course, in Dark Souls 2, weapon durability is replenished at bonfires, but in Dark Souls 2, weapons also break really fast. And now we take on the sniper. He'll try to shoot at us. We'll dodge roll. Switch to a sword. Despite the fact that we can break through it. Still take a little bit of damage, which is easily healed with a quick Estus swing. Great Chaos Fireball ready. And to summon Solaire. The reason why I went through that rigmarole of killing all of the enemies in this room before summoning Solaire is to make sure that he doesn't try to fight them. If they're still alive when Solaire comes in, he'll try to fight them and will take damage before we actually get to the boss fight. We don't want that. I'm trying really hard not to cough right now. There, that should do it. Alright. Sprint through here. This is where summon signs will appear, if there are going to be any. Wait for Solaire to catch up with us, because he's going to be the tank in this fight. Traverse the white light. There is a pre-boss cutscene, but it doesn't replay, so I'll probably just show it in extra footage. Ornstein and Smough. Solaire will do a pretty good job against Ornstein, so long as we can keep Smough distracted. We also we need to make sure Solaire doesn't get distracted and go after Smough, and also that Smough doesn't go after Solaire. And Solaire can do a pretty good job of taking on Ornstein. Unfortunately, Solaire has decided that he wants in on my Smough action. The way it works is, after one of them is defeated, I appear to be cornered, I don't like that. After one of them is defeated, the other one will absorb the powers of the first one and also be fully healed in the process. Ornstein becomes gigantic, and thus gets much greater reach and damage to combine with his already great speed. By comparison, Smough gains Ornstein's lightning powers. Of the two, the second round against Smough is a lot easier than the second round against Ornstein, so we want to kill Ornstein first, if at all possible. Shot against Ornstein. Okay, we got Ornstein. He's dead. And now Smough crushes him. Jerk, he stole my kill. Of course, he gets to absorb Ornstein's lightning powers, whereas when I kill things, all I get is souls. and I have to spend those at a bonfire. But now Smough will be completely healed, and now his attacks deal lightning damage in addition to what they already do. Fortunately, I can cause quite a bit of damage with my arrows for as long as he can't hit me, which is easiest so long as Solaire is alive, but Solaire doesn't have much time left. Yep, that's the end of Solaire. All my great fireballs ready. If you can trick him into doing his janitor imitation attack directly into one of the pillars, it's the easiest way to avoid taking damage. You really want to deal with Smough at range. What the? I got hit from behind. By what? But yeah, in particular, if you're attacking him with a bow, you want the broken pillars to be between you and him. Because he will then have a lot of his attacks blocked by the base of the pillar, but my arrows will not be blocked by the base of the pillar. Will usually not be blocked by the base of the pillar. And I can just keep chipping away at his health. It would be faster to hit him with Great Fireball, but it would also be a lot more dangerous. You pretty much just want to be backing away from him constantly, which means you need to be mindful of the arena to make sure that you don't end up running into a wall. This reminds me of a lot of old-school isometric RPGs like Diablo. Just keep retreating constantly while attacking the enemy from a distance. Both of these characters are very difficult to take on in a melee fight. Okay, and because I'm in danger of being cornered, I'm going to sprint for a little while. I don't want to jinx it, but it's been a while since I took damage. It would be nice if I could cause more, but this fight, once again, illustrates the point you want to remember about Dark Souls in general: don't get greedy. If anything, I actually just did get greedy. And see how much damage I just took. And that's the reason why I want my Grass Crest shield, is because the increased stamina regeneration gives me more opportunity to sprint. See? I got greedy. Again! The first time I got greedy because I should have fled and instead decided to shoot. The second time I got greedy because I should have only healed once and then moved, and instead I decided to heal twice. In both cases, my greed, deciding to do something that would either decrease my chances of dying or progress me towards the end of the fight, caused me to take damage I otherwise could have avoided. This boss fight, more than it is anything else, is a test of your patience. As long as you have plenty of patience and caution, you can win. Especially once you're down to fighting just one of them. Especially if the just one of them that you're down to is Smough. Now your arrows actually deal less damage if you're farther away from the enemy, but you still want to keep your distance. Learn his patterns. Always attack after he does. Let him attack first, evade his attack, and then counter. If you try to attack first, he will punish you. Unless he goes a long time without attacking. You can also get him to get stuck against the pillars for a little while, giving you the opportunity to get some more distance from him. Let's dodge that and take a pot shot at him. As much as I'd love to finish this off with some kind of awesome flourish, I'm really not going to, because as cool as it would be to finish him off with a great fireball, it would also be a mistake. Just make careful use of the pillars. They allow you to gain distance from your opponent. This fight may seem easy, but you've seen how small the margin for error is. If I take even two... He can two-shot me. Any of his attacks can two-shot me. If I take any damage at all, I have to immediately sprint for cover and heal myself. That's part of that is because of this being his second stage. He has gained Ornstein's firepower in addition to his own, allowing him to cause unbelievably huge amounts of damage. Almost. Still wait. If anything, this is too risky. If anything, that was a mistake. But I got it. I got the Soul of Smough, a humanity, and 50,000 souls. If anything, that last attack was actually wrong, because I could have, if I hadn't killed him, he would have had a free shot against me, and then I would probably have died. So I did actually get greedy at the end, I just got lucky. Alright, now we go through the other side of the room from the one we entered, wait for an elevator to arrive, step on it. Unlike the other elevators, these aren't pad controlled. And we're in the upper level. There's treasure over there that I want before we proceed with the next leg of our journey. One of the reasons why I like having the grass crest shield is it allows me to just cover distance faster. Let's see what this is. Oh! This is Lautrec's armor, the armor of the guy we invaded and assassinated. Interesting. Also, one of the things that he dropped is a very interesting ring. The Ring of Favor and Protection. It boosts maximum HP, maximum stamina, and equipment load, but if you ever take it off, it's destroyed. Very interesting. I'm probably not going to use it except for maybe right at the end, because I like being able to switch my rings. Now, open this door. And?
Thou hast journeyed far, and overcome much, chosen undead. Come hither, child.
Kneel.
O chosen undead, I am Guinevere, daughter of Lord Gwyn and Queen of Sunlight. Since the day Father his fall did obscureth, I have awaited thee. I bequeath the Lordvessel to thee.
And now we can work between bonfires.
Succeed, Lord Gwyn, and inheriteth the fire of our world. Thou shalt endeth this eternal twilight, and avert further undead sacrifices.
We now have the Lordvessel. One of the effects of the Lordvessel is that we can now fast travel between bonfires. Now that I rest, I have a new option. Warp. I can warp to a couple of bonfires, one of which is Firelink Shrine. Well, that's the end for this part, aside from some bonus footage and all of my outtakes. So, this is Science Viking signing off. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. And cue pre-boss cutscene. I don't know if this one replays. Here's hoping it won't matter. Not let me lock on to Smough. Come on, he's huge. This guy's almost as fat as I am. Okay, to be fair, I'm not that fat. I'm a little heavy, but I'm not Smough heavy. And that's the end of that. And there is a pre-boss cutscene, which I'll show from also appears to resist fire a bit better than Ornstien does. Okay. Switch back to the Grass Crest shield so that I can just run and die anyway. That's frustrating.